We are 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's news and talk. Speaking of talk, this includes you.
When I hear criminal justice reform, I hear we're letting criminals out so they can commit more crime.
Download the free KRMG app and use our open mic feature to sound off anything we're discussing on air. We love your input, and we air open mics constantly.
You guys are fantastic. Thank you for everything you guys do.
Join the conversation now. A free download for both Apple and Android devices.
Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon. We're going to be topping the next hour with Lara Trump, co-chair of the RNC, presidential daughter-in-law. She will weigh in on the debate preview conversation we started with Kennedy. That'll make its way all the way on up to Greg Stubbe, who's joining us in the next hour as well. And, of course, you'll be welcome if you are so inclined, 888-788-9910. Okay. The insane thing about the moment we're living in is it could be the last 24 hours we're living in it, okay? If Biden has a disastrous night, he gets out there and, you know...
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go, you know the thing.
Okay, if he gets out there and does tomorrow what the rest of us have been watching him do for the past 5 years, he's got a really big problem come Friday.
We have a president that is clearly not all there.
All right, I'm doing it again, ranting and raving like a loony about G-Defy shoes. Basically, the way this works is I come home from Fox every night, and it's the first thing I hear when I walk through the doors. Jenny feels great. She's got 2 pairs of G-Defy shoes after having foot surgery. She loves them, okay? I wear them when I'm running around at the airport or I'm trying to get to a TV set. I'm usually late. I'm a mess. You know that. But the point is, these shoes with Verso Shock technology, they're really putting some spring in your step, and you're bouncing around. So if you got any type of joint pain, they are a home run, okay, in terms of you getting around every day. So whether you're just an active parent, you know, somebody who's always on the go, or you're somebody who really does need a break from the pain, I cannot impress upon you enough just how much Jenny and I love these shoes. So head over to gdefy.com, gdefy.com. The code is Jimmy. You're going to get $30 off your order of $150 or more. But more importantly, you're going to feel good. It's gdefy.com. The code is Jimmy. Do something nice for yourself, would you?
Live, local, in-depth. It's what we do.
They want to build Highway 75 to go over 141st Street.
When you need to know, remember, 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's news and talk.
5,000. Something amazing is happening when power outages strike. Teams are powering through them. That's because CDW Solutions architects are building more resilient IT and electrical infrastructures with Schneider Electric. With EcoCare remote monitoring services and 24/7 support, your organization can do more than keep the lights on. Schneider Electric and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Schneider Electric.
Welcome from the Groundwork Studios, KRMG FM Sand Springs. KRMG Tulsa, news is next. 102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's news and talk.
Remember today, you listen to
102.3 KRMG, Tulsa's news and talk.
Live team coverage starts now.
Live from the KRMG 24-hour Fox News Center, I'm Steve Noel at 8 o'clock with team coverage of our top stories. Gunshots rang out Wednesday afternoon in the parking lot of the Tulsa County Courthouse. Tulsa Police Captain Richard Muhlenberg described the situation.
Emotions were high, words were exchanged, and that culminated into an altercation where someone decided to pull out a gun and fire multiple rounds in the parking garage.
The Tulsa County DA's office stated that the only hearing taking place that at the time was a murder case involving the death of a 12-year-old. TPD says they have some bullet casings, but no victim or suspect at this time. They are also interviewing witnesses and going through surveillance video. The court clerk said that the courthouse was on lockdown for about 5 minutes. The U.S. State Department today said Russia is holding a show trial for a detained American reporter and demanded that the country immediately release him and other political prisoners. ABC's Andy Field.
A rare rebuke of Donald Trump from the State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller, indirectly criticizing the former president, who has claimed that he would help free jailed reporter Evan Gershkovich and Paul Whelan if he's reelected this fall.
Every American who
cares about the safety and security of their fellow American citizens would demand the release of Evan and Paul now. Not November, not December, not January, but now.
The State Department calling this a show trial. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
The Tulsa County Sheriff's Office is offering a couple of courses for teen drivers this summer, passing along some of the same skills they learned in their own training.
They won't be moving quite as quickly, but the young drivers will learn how to handle hydroplaning and maneuvering and other skills that will up their game on the road, just like the deputies learn. TCSO Communications Director Casey Robach tells me the instructors will also spend time teaching them about maintenance.
They're going to pop open the hood, they're going to show them how to check the oil, how to check their tire pressure, and they're going to go over the operations of all those things that our dads kind of taught us when we started learning how to drive.
The teens use their own vehicles, so they do have to be licensed and insured. Remember, this is an advanced course. It is free. You'll find the details on KRMG.com and the KRMG app. Russell Mills, 1023 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk.
Tulsa's most accurate and dependable forecast is next. KRMG News Time, 8:02.
Fox 23 KRMG meteorologist Laura Mock opening up about her battle with breast cancer. We'll talk with her about it tomorrow. Plus, prep for tomorrow night's presidential. The KRMG Morning News on a Thursday, 5 till 9. 1023 KRMG, Tulsa's News and Talk.
Something amazing is happening in video conferencing. People are showing up in big ways. That's because CDW is building collaborative and connected video and audio environments with HP Poly. With noise block AI to silence distractions and group framing to highlight speakers, everyone on your team gets to shine. Make amazing happen. HP Poly and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/poly.
At the UPS store, we want to make this summer the summer of shipping, Summer Shipalooza, so you can start crossing items off your must-ship list, like the vintage film camera your college kid needs for class, or the vase you told your mom you would send her ages ago. And with our pack and ship guarantee, your items arrive safe or we reimburse you. So stop by your local store today for everything you need to be unstoppable. Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee for full details. Available at participating locations. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? It's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
If they hear you, they want you.
A Quiet Place Day 1, Friday. Rated PG-13. Get tickets now.
What a beautiful day.
This vacation is just what our family needed.
Thank you, Kohl's.
Kohl's?
Come on. If it weren't for all the money we saved shopping at Kohl's, this vacation probably wouldn't have happened.
Speaking of, I'm really liking these new sunglasses.
To Kohl's. Think the spa here would take Kohl's cash? See what's possible when you save at Kohl's and Kohl's.com.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
If you've struggled for years to lose weight and have given up hope, did you know you can now access GLP-1 prescription medications through LifeMD? LifeMD is now offering eligible patients online access to GLP-1s, the breakthrough prescription medication that can help you lose body fat and weight. Listen to what people are saying.
You just take your shot. It doesn't feel like you're on a diet. What I wasn't expecting it to do was to shut off the food noise. This was life-altering, and if I can do it, I feel like anybody can do it.
And here's the best part. Your insurance may cover 100% of the cost of your medication. So go to TryLifeMD.com to have your eligibility checked right now. Get started today at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.
1023 KRMG has Tulsa's most accurate and dependable forecast.
It'll be a warm evening. Temps slowly falling out of the 80s. 74 in the morning. A little cooler tomorrow afternoon, but still hot. 94 the high. 99 Friday, 99 Saturday. Rain and thunder more likely Saturday night and Sunday. A little cooler Sunday at 93 and Monday 99. I'm Chief Meteorologist James Edelot for Fox 23 and 1023 KRMG Tulsa's News and Talk.
At 8:06, it's sunny and 88 in Tulsa. I'm Steve Knoll on 1023 KRMG Tulsa's News and Talk.
We're coming to your city. Gonna play our guitars and sing you a country song. We'll all be flying higher than a jetliner. And if you want a little bang in your yin-yang, come along.
That case, the Attorney General's case in New York, frankly, should have never been brought. If his name was not Donald Trump, and if he wasn't running for president, I'm the former AG in New York, I'm telling you that case would have never been brought.
The reason why we have chaos right now after the Dobbs decision is because of what Donald Trump did in his administration.
Thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She's welcome to come back. Thanks to Caroline.
The countdown is on. Only 131 days until Election Day. Yeah, we're coming to your city. Gonna play our guitars and sing you a country song.
From coast to coast. From border to border. From sea to shining sea. Sean Hannity is on.
See you right here for our final news roundup and information overload.
All right, news roundup, information overload hour, toll free. Let me give you our number. It's 800-941-SEAN on this first presidential debate. And we have a lot of news. Let's take you back 4 years ago. What happened in the weeks leading up to the 2020 election? Well, we had in October, the New York Post had a blockbuster story. It was about Hunter Biden's laptop, a laptop that we now know implicates Joe Biden as, quote, the big guy, as confirmed by Tony Bobolinsky. A laptop that we now know from Hunter Biden's business partner, Devin Archer, that Joe Biden lied to the country when he said he never talked to his son, his brother, or anybody for that matter about their foreign business dealings, when in fact Devin Archer said he used to call into meetings with his foreign business associates and even met with some of them, including the former First Lady of Moscow and Russian oligarch Elena Baturina, who, according to Devin Archer, $3.5 million in funds were sent from her to the Biden, quote, enterprise, if you will, or the Biden syndicate, if you will, on top of what he claimed over $100 million for real estate investment. And then, of course, we had the FBI. They had verified the authenticity of the laptop. They did that in March of 2020, but yet they went out all summer before the election, meeting with big tech companies and pre-bunking the laptop story by warning these big tech companies that they would be victims of a foreign disinformation campaign, and it's likely going to be about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. Now, they also knew that Rudy Giuliani's attorney had a copy of the laptop, the very real laptop from hell. And then when that story broke, and Facebook and Twitter actually went to the FBI and asked, is this what you were warning us about? Is this disinformation? Or is this accurate? They could have confirmed that it was accurate because they had verified it. They chose to protect Joe Biden. And then the story gets worse. Then we had, an effort led Lincoln, Tony, Blinken, to gather 51, what we thought were former intelligence officers, none of whom ever examined the laptop, out there debunking the laptop as Russian disinformation. And this was all in the lead up to the final debate in October of 2020. And Joe Biden, was calling it Russian disinformation, and the 51 intel officers that were organized by his people. Anyway, let's listen to Joe in the lead up to that election, because he's lying to the American public.
There are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plan. They have said that this has all the 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
Building the stories from the fall about suicide cluster were Russian citizens taking that experience, like you said.
Yes. God love you, man. You're a one-horse pony, I tell you.
Well, it all turns out not to be true. Now, we have the committee, the House Judiciary Committee, the Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government, and the Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. They have now come out with a very, very extensive report. And in this report, they go into great specificity, and they go into great detail about how the intelligence community, 51 it's called, how CIA contractors, in other words, not former intel officials, but current intel workers for our government, colluded with the Biden campaign to mislead American voters. Anyway, joining us now, we have Congressman Mike Turner. He is the chairman of the House Intel Committee. Congressman, great to have you back. I read the report. It is beyond frightening to me that you have so many former and then we now know current at the time high-ranking intelligence officials that knew nothing. None of them examined the laptop. None of them knew a thing about the laptop. The only thing they knew is they wanted Joe Biden to win. And they went out and they organized and they lied to the American people to affect the outcome of an election. Is that election interference, sir?
Absolutely. But Sean, you are absolutely right. And what you just played is very important for everyone to hear, and that is Biden lying to the American public. That's what he sounds like when he's lying. If you look at the video, that's what he looks like when he's lying. Our committee worked to obtain CIA emails and communications from representatives of the IC-51 that put out this claim that it was Russian disinformation. As you correctly said, their claim was completely made up. They had zero intelligence. They acknowledged under oath. We deposed them with Chairman Jordan and myself, the Judiciary Committee, Intel Committee, deposed several of these individuals. They acknowledged that they, under oath, that they did not do any efforts to verify their statements. And they specifically said in their documents that we obtained that they were doing this because they expected Trump to attack Biden on the issue at the upcoming debate, and they wanted to give the vice president a talking point on this response, which was totally a lie and totally political. This should have never happened.
Well, you go on in your executive summary and you say the 51 former intelligence officials, Hunter Biden's statement was a political, blatant operation from the start. It originated with a call from a top Biden campaign official, now Secretary of State, Anthony, we call him Winkin, Tony Blinken, to former Deputy Central Intelligence Agency Director Mike Morrell. The committee's investigation revealed that without outreach from Blinken, Morrell would not have written that statement. And Morrell told the committees that the Blinken phone call triggered his intent for the statement. And the statement's drafters were open about the goal of the project. We think that Trump will attack Biden on this issue at this week's debate. We want to give the vice president a talking point to use in response. Now, let me ask you something. Is that an in-kind contribution? Is there any violation of law here?
Well, there certainly ought to be, and certainly Jim Jordan and myself are working together on legislation that would make illegal in the future. But what you just said is incredibly important, and that is this was presented by Biden not only as truth, as if these former intelligence members, and some who, as you indicated, were under contract with the CIA, had done an independent assessment of this, of the laptop, of the issue of Russian disinformation. They had perhaps access to intelligence. They had zero intelligence. But they didn't just spontaneously do this. This was initiated by Biden's campaign. Blinken was working for the campaign, corralled these individuals, had them draft this letter for which they'd done no verification, all of which were lies, and put it out with an official statement, when in fact it was, as you indicated, election interference, lies that Biden himself took to the podium in his debate and lied to the American public.
I mean, it really is an incredible thing, and then we had high-ranking CIA officials. What was the role of the CIA director at the time? Were they made aware? We also invite into the program Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio, chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. You know, these 51 former intel officials, Jim Jordan, you know, what is a blatant political operation. I was just asking Congressman Turner if this is an in-kind contribution, if this is illegal in any way. Do you see any potential laws broken here?
Well, I mean, I don't know. We're looking at all that. But what we do know is the agents themselves, the internal emails we got, John, they knew they shouldn't be doing this. They said this is not a good look for the CIA. It's political, it's pro-Biden. This should not be happening. So the good people doing the real work that the CIA is supposed to do understood what was involved in this operation. Certainly Michael Morell knew. He was auditioning for the CIA director position and what he hopes for the future Biden administration. So that's what we know from the very documents we got by subpoenaing the CIA.
What does it mean, Jim Jordan, when some of the statements and the people that signed this document, including Mike Morell, were on active contract with the CIA at the time that of Hunter Biden's statement's publication?
Well, I mean, go back to you said this better than anyone, Sean. Our government had the laptop, and the FBI, the very day the New York Post story comes out, this is something we didn't get into quite in our report, but the very day that this Post story comes out, October 14, 2020, that very day, the FBI is actually meeting with social media companies, and they get asked by Twitter, what about this New York Post story? And someone in the FBI says the laptop is real. They were quickly stopped when the lawyer for the FBI jumped in, no further comment. But the FBI then later met with all the social media companies that same day, October 14th, and they tell them all, we have no indication whatsoever that the laptop was hacked by Russia. So they knew at the time it wasn't. And yet you have people signing a statement that says it was, and some of those people are actually being paid on some kind of contract with the CIA at the moment they signed that statement. That's how egregious this whole process was. And my question is, again, what are they going to try this time? What's coming this fall in the run-up to the most important election we have, the election for Commander-in-Chief and President of the United States?
I don't know, but I honestly don't. I think they'd stop at nothing. And what we all know, Congressman Turner, is that the FBI throughout the summer of 2020 was out there free-punking, meeting with big tech on a weekly basis, as Congressman Jordan and I both have pointed out, in the lead-up to this election, warning them that they're going to be potentially victims of disinformation. And both Facebook and Twitter, it's my understanding, both asked if this was the disinformation they were warning about. They couldn't confirm the truth that they had verified the authenticity of the laptop. They didn't do it. And they knew that Rudy Giuliani's attorney had a copy, so they knew this laptop story was going to leak eventually, and it did.
Well, and we got to give credit to then ODNI director of National Intelligence, Ratty, who under the Trump administration went directly to the TV waves air and said, we have no information whatsoever that this is Russian disinformation. There's no intelligence whatsoever that indicates that. He debunks what the IC-51 are saying and makes a very definitive statement officially that there is no intelligence that supports their accusation.
No, I mean, is it worse, Jim Jordan, if Russia or China are spreading disinformation in the lead up to an election, or is it maybe worse when both former intelligence officials that we count on and depend on to protect us and protect the integrity of our elections, if they're out there spreading disinformation?
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse.
Right. Great point. Well, I mean, we don't.
I mean, I expect our enemies to do stuff like that. I don't expect fellow Americans to do that because they're so invested in one candidate over another.
Yeah, it should never get political. This was a total political operation. We know that the email that Morell sent out to all the people when he was trying to solicit signers for the statement, the email itself says, we want this statement so Biden can use it in the upcoming debate because we know Trump's going to raise this issue. I mean, that's what the email said. So we know it was political. We know they could have, if they had some kind of question that legitimately thought it was a Russian information operation, they could have checked after all their own contract. One person had what's called green badge access, one of the signers that we know of, which means he has unlimited access to CIA facilities. He could have figured this out, but I don't think they wanted to because it was all about politics. And when your government, and remember, this is in the broader context too of all the on so many. That to me is a concern.
And now we know that very real laptop implicates Joe Biden as the big guy. Hunter complains bitterly that half his income goes to Pops, and that he pays for Pops' home repairs, and that Joe called into meetings, so he lied about the laptop, and he lied about never talking to his son or brother or anybody about these issues. Mike Turner, I mean, I would think this should be a big issue in this debate tomorrow, but why do I doubt fake news? CNN will bring it up.
It's interesting that, Sean, it also has a tremendous amount of irony because Brennan and Clapper from the Obama administration, former Director of National Intelligence, former Director of CIA, signed this letter and claimed that this Hunter Biden laptop was falsely, completely a lie, was Russian disinformation. They were top perpetrators of the Russia hoax against Trump. So here they are trying to take down Trump by lying about Russia, and here they're trying to put Biden in by lying about Russia.
You just can't make it up, but this report is critical. And what will they do this time? We know what they did in 2016. We know what they did in 2020. What are they going to do this time? Gary, thoughts? Anyway, Jim Jordan, thank you. Mike Turner, thank you. We appreciate both your work, both of you, and your hard work. And I hope the American people know that Joe Biden and the media mob lied to them on the highest levels imaginable.
Uncovering evil and defending the truth.
You're on the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey, what if your home's title, which is the legal document that proves you own your home, is in some criminal's name? Well, that's called home title theft, and criminals all over the world can find your home's title online, and then they'll forge your signature. They'll take out loans against your home, or even worse, sell your home. Now, how do you know some criminal's not taking over the title to your home? You can find out with sign up at HometitleLock.com and use the promo code Sean, S-E-A-N.
Violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
You know, there's a lot of talk about brain clarity these days, about memory, natural energy. Look, this is important to me. Health, wellness, nutrition, all important. Now, some of us have clarity, and then some of us don't. Now, many of us use something really great. It's called Strong Cell. Now, Strong Cell is an easy-to-use liquid drink supplement. It utilizes great ingredients like NADH and CoQ10 and marine collagen, and that helps boost our body's cellular function. Taking Strong Cell every day leads to a better memory, better brain clarity, and frankly, an overall boost in daily energy. Now learn all about how you can lead a more fulfilling life with tons of natural energy, a sharp mind, terrific memory. Go to their website, strongcell.com/Hannity. You'll get 10% off. Live your best life. Start taking Strong Cell today. Just go to their website, strongcell.com/Hannity. 10% off. Less fog, more focus. Stop feeling tired. Start taking Strong Cell today.
KRMG is your podcast destination. The Damp Otter File.
The legends. Literally, within 2 weeks, people were talking about the Tulsa Mountains. People argued about what is a mountain.
Oklahoma women want to know. Lauren Lee calls herself a female empowerment artist. I always say I'm a PTA mom turned artist. Full access, okay.
One of Tulsa's newest boutique hotels, a Brute. Kind of a tropical brutalism. It's the interior outdoor patio. You can dine out there.
Listen on KRMG.com, the KRMG app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
A special message from your family of jewels brought to you by Old Spice Total Body.
Hey, it stinks down here. When do armpits get all of the attention? You're down here all day with no odor protection. Wait, what's that? Vanilla and shea. That's Old Spice Total Body Deodorant. 24/7 freshness from pits to privates with daily use. It's so gentle. We've never smelled so good. Shop Old Spice Total Body Deodorant now.
This is the story of the week. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working,